Hey guys, this is Market Update. Wow, what an insane few days we just had. So if you went on holiday a few weeks ago and came back to see the Bitcoin price trading at 99,000, you may say to yourself, wow, what a boring market, nothing's happening. But obviously we know that things are about to get really volatile. Geopolitical wrangling, a lot of uncertainty here. And when the market is uncertain, you probably get a little bit of weakness, volatile downside moves. But to be fair, we've actually still kept this structure, right? This structure right here where Bitcoin sold off, this support zone, you can see 1, 2, 3 major wicks into it. All of them bought up back into this 100K level. Now, I was really bullish right here as we were trying to turn this resistance into support. And then we got the tariff news and the whole thing just went whoosh. I still think we've actually held structure here. If you look at the price, it's $99,000 Bitcoin. This is insane. And everyone's bearish and say, wow, big liquidation event. But we're trading at basically 100K. Now, unfortunately, the RSI doesn't look too good now. I thought it was trying to bounce here. Tariff news just sent it way lower. So uncertainty, not the best environment for Bitcoin reaching new time highs and taking that next leg higher right now. But look, there is nothing else to own other than this asset. I'll show you this. There is nothing else to own other than this asset. Now, if you do trade crypto, you can get a deposit bonus on Bybit up to $30,000. So if you click the link, go through. If you're new on there, you can get a deposit bonus all the way up to 30. Whatever you deposit, they'll give you a bonus. If you can't trade on Bybit, Apex is Bybit's DEX. You can trade from your crypto wallet. You can get a permanent fee discount by the link below as well. Absolutely nothing has changed in my view for this cycle. I still think we go way higher. This is actually very typical for a bull market. We're in a huge bull market, a huge uptrend. And in bull markets, you get these leverage flushes, leverage traders getting flushed out, prices crashing down, everyone gets nervous. People are in profits here. And so people in profits get nervous, they want to sell out. Obviously, traders that are using high leverage, they get flushed out. You reset and you go again, because the reality is the wave of currency debasement is being negotiated right now. And that's the tsunami that I want to ride in, right? Because currencies have to get debased, and they're negotiating which one gets to debase the most and where trade is actually going to locate to. That's what they're negotiating right now. But once that's happened, the wave of currency debasement can push us up into new all-time highs. I still think that's coming because they're negotiating it right now. If you look at inflation rates around the world, China, 0%, right? France and Italy, 1.3%. Germany's 2.6, maybe a little bit higher, but the Eurozone's 2.4. GDP growth there is basically nothing, right? They need to debase their currency. China needs to debase their currency. US wants to absolutely run growth very, very hot, which means that it needs more trade back, currency debasement. They're trying to get this commercial banks. They're trying to deregulate the commercial banks now to create more credit, which is currency debasement, to drive up GDP. Remember, CPI, inflation, GDP, this is all Fugazi fiat stuff. It's not the real economy. The real economy drops prices and drops GDP as it creates abundance in goods and services. And so the reality is we have to figure out, do we want to be in this Fugazi CPI, inflation and GDP system? No. We create value, and if we have any savings, we save them in assets that help preserve our purchasing power over time. Gold is clearly pricing in the fact that all these nations are going to debase their currency, either through fiscal or monetary, or deregulating their banks and saying, hey, create credit now. So all of that is going to debase the currency and push up these asset prices when valued in the currency. But that is not the game we're playing. The game is which asset that you can buy over time can, in the future, buy you more gold, right? More education, more healthcare, more energy, more food. And Bitcoin is buying more of that over time. Bitcoin now buys me more gold, more NASDAQ stocks, more oil, and more commodities than it did a year ago. And so people are in big profits here. And maybe they're taking their profits to buy some gold, to buy some NASDAQ stocks, to buy some housing. Maybe they're doing that. Great news. And if you need assets to buy that, then you should sell too if you need some money. But if you don't, then what asset are you going to buy? There's only one asset to buy here. There's only one asset to buy, and it's BTC. And the volatility is great news. And if you just consistently buy it over time, you make 40% a year. That's the CAGR right now. Maybe that goes down to 30% a year, 25% a year, but it is the best asset. And that wave of currency debasement is happening, which means trade negotiations are going to settle and they're going to debase currencies. And that means assets go up. Gold's going to go up, housing's going to go up, stock market's going to go up, Bitcoin's going to go up. Which one of those do you want the most? The one that goes up the most and is the most reliable and strongest. Maybe that's different for different people. Maybe some people like the S&P or the NASDAQ or housing or gold or whatever. That's up to the individual. For me, I think Bitcoin is very clearly the most desirable asset out of those. Obviously, you need somewhere to live. You need food to eat, right? So you can't put all your money in BTC. You're going to have to spend the BTC at some point. That's what saving is. Invest in the best asset. Wait for the currency to get to base, which is 100% certainty. and don't care about, 25, 30% drawdowns, it's volatile. That is in Bitcoin. If you don't want the volatility, go and buy gold. It's gone up 40% this year. Great news. But also, you don't get the upside volatility as well, which you have to wait for. Bitcoin doesn't go up 10 basis points a day. It is volatile, but we're up here. I mean, it's not even a big drawdown, right? It's nothing really. We're not going into a bear market. We're negotiating the wave of fresh currency debasement. And so you have to sit on your hands and wait and not get flushed out or scared or, spooked out of your assets right here, right? This is the world's best asset. Once that currency debasement wave actually happens, everyone's going to be ecstatic. That is the time you have to start worrying about the next bear market. But we're not there right now. As of making this video on Tuesday, we're having a conference from the Crypto Czar. It's going to be a bit later than making this video because it's in US time. Look, there's a Crypto Czar in the States. So you have to get some exposure to this asset class. Yes, it's very volatile. Yes, altcoins are going to follow Bitcoin up. And when Bitcoin sneezes, they're going to absolutely crater because QT is still happening, right? It's not the money flush right now. Alt season will happen at some point. It's not right now. We're going through a negotiation phase. It's the tail end, the very end of a bull market where you get that alt season. We're not in it right now, right? We just got a wake up call. Yeah, we're not quite here yet. You wait a bit longer. A executive order for the Sovereign Wealth Fund in the States, right? And Cynthia Loomis saying, big deal with a Bitcoin B. Is Bitcoin going to go in there? Look, who cares, right? The reality is, even America knows that the dollar is trash, and that's why they're setting up a fund to buy assets with dollars. That's the game. Everyone knows it. No one wants fiat currency. Even the countries that issue it know it's rubbish, and they put it into assets. So that is the game, right? And then we look here, strategic Bitcoin reserves. This is from the States here. Look at this legislation coming in. Everyone wants assets. Bitcoin is the most desirable asset. There's nothing else to buy as long as you can stomach the volatility and you have a long-term view. If you trade BTC, $30,000 deposit bonus to Bybit down in the description. And you can trade on Bybit's DEX, Apex, where you get a permanent fee discount via that link as well. I'm James, this is MoneyZG. Cheers for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.